Yo, so this video is a video that I recorded, not this one, I'm recording this one right now, but the video that I'm about to show is a video that I recorded about 9 months ago. And it is a video where I had some kind of spiritual awakening or something, I don't know, some realization in my head about consciousness and about negative thoughts and stuff, and I think that it helped me become a better speaker. It's kind of a weird video. I didn't even know if I was gonna show it ever, but here you go. Enjoy. Okay, this is a note to myself. I was just doing a lot of thinking about why sometimes I get really nervous speaking in front of people. Why I get nervous even speaking in front of a camera. It doesn't really make any sense. I think it's because of lack of connection with the world around me. I think if I'm really present in the moment and I just accept myself as being a part of my environment and having like everything around me be like one being as opposed to like me in this world with a bunch of distraction, a bunch of like things coming at me, a bunch of enemies and shit. I think if I don't think of myself in that way and I think of myself as like being a part of the environment, I think for one, it's less selfish that way. It's more, I'm not putting so much pressure and self-centeredness, or I'm not putting so much attention on myself, but I'm ready to be the center. I am ready to be the center of attention at all times, because I realize that attention is always on, it could be on anything in the environment at any point, because I think that we're all one. And the attention of any room that you're in, any given room that you're in with like other people, I think that it can, I'm losing my train of thought because now like the nervousness is starting to creep up behind me. My mind is saying like, what if I don't get these thoughts out correctly? What if I have to redo this video? I think a lot of it is attention. So if you place attention like in your head on those thoughts that are creeping up, those thoughts are not real. They're just things that are created in your head that kind of kept you alive for a little while when you were younger, because your brain tends to tell you things like, be nervous, be scared. So you'll go and hide away from danger. But that doesn't really make sense right now, being an adult in a safe environment in the modern world. Because right now, I feel relatively safe in my environment. So there's no reason to not just be completely a part of my environment. I'm a grown ass man. So I think that, being myself when I'm talking in front of an audience and letting the ideas flow out of me is really about being present in the moment at all times. Honestly, I didn't even really realize what being present in the moment meant until now. And what I've been doing over the past couple days is I've been getting away from social media, and I've been getting away from other distractions in my life and just focusing on things like reading, being present in the moment, paying attention to my surroundings, talking to people in person in real life. Mostly that, like reading and just getting away from, and eating healthy food. Getting away from things that distract me, like junk food or, things like pornography or like, I'm concerned about who's going to see this video, whatever. Or things like social media. Because I was kind of addicted to Snapchat and what people thought of me, but I don't think that's a good way to live. I think that caring too much about what people think about you is very selfish. But I think that concept is really hard to understand when you're in that spot of like thinking that everything matters. Everybody's opinion matters about you. I think it's really hard to get out of that. I don't know how you get out of it besides like separating yourself from social media over the past couple of days like I have, or, meditating a lot, which I did a few 30-minute meditation sessions over these past couple of days. But really, I think it's like an accumulation of what I've been doing over the past couple of months, which is like going out and talking more and trying to minimize social media. But over these last few days, I don't know, something's really happened to me, because today I just feel I feel more like connected to my surroundings and more present than I ever have in my life since I was a little kid. So I think what I'm doing right now is really good. I think using app limits and limiting myself to 30 minutes or less of entertainment, social media, and even, messaging people on my phone, limiting that to 30 minutes or less has been really beneficial to me. So I guess the concept that I want to keep as a note here is the reason that I wanted to make this video was because I was sitting on my couch thinking about what my next speech was going to be like and thinking about how to get out of that mindset of like, I'm going up in front of the audience and now I'm in speaker mode. Okay, so that was my speech. Hope you guys liked it. I was having trouble with the closing part of my speech. And what I came to the conclusion of was I put on this persona when I get in front of the crowd at Toastmasters. I use all these techniques, and I'm like the speaker guy. And then at the end, I'm like, so yeah, that was my speech. I regress back into the quiet guy that sits there and the attention's not on him. So I guess what I need to do now is two things. One, I need to get used to being the center of attention at all time. Not in a narcissistic way, but in a way that's like, okay, attention is always on everybody all the time, and it could be on you, it could be on everybody around you. We're all one, so attention could be on any one of us at any point. We're all interacting together, so get used to being the center of attention, because you're always the center of attention, because everybody is one. We're all one, being a part of the same environment, a part of the same consciousness, sharing the world with each other, and just sharing this consciousness as one being. Two, what was the second thing I was going to say? Oh yeah, flow from one moment to the next. So flow from one moment to the next. So when I'm done giving my speech, instead of being like, so yeah, dude, you just gave a kick-ass speech. Flow into the next part. Flow into the next part of life, man. You can't just go and be that awesome guy for 5 minutes in front of a crowd while you're giving a speech and then go and not be the not awesome guy. No, be the awesome guy when you're sitting there before your speech, when you're driving to the freaking place to give the speech. Be the awesome guy when you're walking up to give your speech. Be the awesome guy when you're giving your speech, because you are awesome. On the inside, everybody is. They all have the potential to be awesome. And at the end of your speech, continue being that awesome guy. Just be like, which should look something like this. Okay, I've just concluded my speech, Mr. Toastmaster. Go sit down. Sitting down, I'm still the awesome guy. That's you, all the time. Everything else is a distraction. All those thoughts in your head that are telling you that you're not good enough, all those thoughts that are in your head telling you that you suck, all those thoughts in your head telling you that you have social anxiety, that you have depression, that people aren't going to like you, that you should care about what other people are thinking of you, all this other shit. All those thoughts are just shit that was put in your brain when you were younger to keep you alive. When you were younger, to keep you alive. Those things don't matter right now. What matters is what you're focusing on right now, which right now I'm focusing on communicating a message into my phone so that it will be saved for me for future use, for use in the future by myself. So I can remember what I'm thinking right now. It's so fucking obvious right now. And I feel like I've known this for a little while, that all the thoughts in my head, all the thoughts that were telling me that it wasn't good enough and stuff, like those were not real. And maybe some were justified. Like, if I really have been a piece of shit, like if I haven't been pushing myself and my thoughts are telling me like, you haven't been pushing yourself, maybe those thoughts are justified. I don't know. I think for the most part though, those thoughts are bullshit. And then some of them that are like, okay, you could be using your time, instead of watching YouTube, you could be reading. Some of those thoughts are real, because I think that's also why I feel really good right now, because I'm actually following through with my own expectations. But yeah, basically my focus right now is just communicating a message. My focus earlier today was talking to people. My focus during a basketball game today was being there to help you with injuries, to help people with injuries. And I just focus on that thing. That's what I do. So I guess the point of this video is to let you know to live up to your own expectations and focus on being one with everything around you and the intent that you would like to do with your actions. Yo, so this video is kind of a weird video, and the reason, oh my God. God, I don't feel like I'm being myself. Okay, Troy, you don't need to put on a show. You don't need to put on a facade. Just flow. Yo,